Hello everybody, welcome back to the new Ironman account guide for IS3. This is part 3 of the guide, so if you haven't seen part 1 or 2, please go see it first. I will link it in the description down below. In the last part of our guide, we got some quests done in Draenor, Port Sarim, and went through the desert where we got some money and levels in Manifos. We finished the video arriving into Catabai where we will continue the next step of our journey. At Catabai, if you have not activated the lodestone already, do that now. From Catabai, we are going to head northwest out of the town towards Seers Village. At Seers Village, we are again going to activate the lodestone. There isn't much to do at the moment in Seers Village, so we are going to press on going southeast to Ardougne lodestone and activate that lodestone too. From the Ardougne lodestone, head northwest, go past the fishing guild and keep heading northwest until you see a bunch of dwarves at the coal mine dwarven outpost. Speak to Captain Lorgoth just behind the gates to start Dwarf Cannon quest. We're going to do as much of the Dwarf Cannon quest as we can in this area. First, go outside and fix the broken sections of railing. It is very difficult to see where it is broken, so I advise looking at the guide on Rs.wiki. Go back and speak to Captain Lorgoth and then go south and up the ladder to find some remains. Take the remains back to Captain Lorgoth. He will then tell you to find another dwarf. Head southeast from him. You will need to go past the fishing guild until you see a cave entrance right next to the fishing guild. Enter the cave and then head northwest until you reach the most northwestern area of the cave where there are a bunch of crates. In the northeast corner of this most northwestern room is a crate containing the dwarf you are supposed to find. Find the dwarf, then go and speak to Captain Lorgoth. The captain will then give you a toolkit. Use the toolkit on the broken multi-cannon next to him to fix the cannon. Once the cannon is repaired, speak to the captain twice until all conversation finishes. He will tell you to go to the Dwarven Mines at Falador. This is where we will leave the quest and pick it up at a later point. From the Dwarven outpost, head northwest up the hill until you reach a house. In the house is a lady called Almera. Speak to her to start the Waterfall quest. Go west out of her house and board the raft. From where you land, speak to Ardougne, who is just north of where you ended up. Go south and swim to the river and you will end up on the shores. From the shores, go northwest to the house north, climb the outside staircase and search the bookcase in the east wall to find a book on Baxtorian. Read the book. From here, home teleport to Ardougne, head south to the bank and withdraw a jug from your bank. You should have one for making your red berry pie. If you don't have a jug, you can go back to Lumbridge and buy one from Beefy Bill. If your jug has no water, go fill it with water at one of the water sources around Ardougne. Also, be sure to have your armor, battle staff, runes and food on you. With your jug of water, head south out of Ardougne until you reach a bunch of monks at the monastery. Speak to Mon Omad here to start Monk's Friend. The entirety of this quest can be done in this area, and that's exactly what we are going to do. Run around the area, get a child's blanket, then find a drunken monk and complete the quest. Once the quest is complete, head west of the monastery to find Lady Seville. Speak to her to start Fight Arena. Similar to Monk's Friend, this entire quest can be done in this area, so we're going to do just that. Go through the jails just south of the monastery and you have to face a bunch of enemies in the arena. Since we picked magic as our style of choice, the fight should be fairly easy. You'll be able to either kite or hide behind obstacles to defeat the enemies. The last enemy is General Khazard, which you don't actually have to kill. He is quite a difficult enemy, so you can just leave the area to finish the quest. Go back to Lady Seville to complete the quest and you will receive a good chunk of attack experience. From Lady Seville, we are going to continue heading south to the Gnome Maze. From the northwest corner of the maze, make your way into the center of the maze. Just before the fence you have to cross to reach the center of the maze, there is a ladder to a dungeon. Enter the dungeon and go to the eastmost room. Search the crates here to find a key. Then head to the westmost room to use the key to unlock Glory to find Glariel's Pebble. Exit the dungeon and head to the center of the maze where you will find King Bolren. Speak to King Bolren to start our next quest, Tree Gnome Village. Like the previous two quests, this is another quest that can be done in this area. Go out of the maze and speak to Commander Monte, help him by giving him some logs, then find the 3 tracker gnomes around the battlefield. The 3 gnomes will give you coordinates. Use the coordinates to fire the ballista, which will destroy a building. Go to the building, climb over the now broken wall and up the ladder to find an orb of protection. Return to King Boron in the center of the maze. Remember, you can now click Alcoy to follow him straight to the center of the maze instead of running through it yourself. After speaking with King Boron, you will need to head back out of the maze, go northwest of the battlefield, and follow the south wall of West Ardougne. Follow this wall around will lead you to a bunch of wolves and a Khazard warlord. Kill the Khazard warlord. This warlord does hit pretty hard. You can try to safe spot him around the trees or keep running back and cutting him until you kill him. After he dies, his balls will drop onto the ground, pick them up, go back to the king, and quest complete. Now that the Tree Gnome Village quest is complete, you now have access to the Spirit Tree Network. Our next step will involve us using the Spirit Tree Network, but before we do that, exit the maze again. From the maze, go south until you reach Yanille. Once you are at Yanille, unlock the Yanille lodestone. Once the lodestone is unlocked, head back to the gnome maze and take the spirit tree to the Tree Gnome Stronghold. Once you're in the Tree Gnome Stronghold, you can bank everything at the moment, so you can run around a lot easier. We're going to spend some time in the Tree Gnome Stronghold, so before we start, I want to talk about a D&D you can do here. The D&D is Big Chinchompa. Big Chinchompa, or Big Chin, is a D&D that starts once every hour at 1/2 the hour. You can do this D&D twice per day, and it gives Hunter experience as a reward. The D&D involves you running around a cave capturing butterflies and then feeding the butterflies to a giant Chinchompa in the middle of the cave. This is actually a super decent way to gain Hunter experience all the way up to level 70. Now normally you have to find where the big Chinchompa spawns across the world, but within the Tree Gnome Stronghold there is a portal that can take you directly to the big Chin spawn. The portal is directly south of the agility course. While you are spending your time here, I recommend you use the portal to do the D&D whenever the D&D is active. Speaking of the agility course, this will be our next destination. We'll be looking to get level 25 agility at the agility course. This might take you some time, so keep running around and occasionally do some big chins until you reach level 25. At level 18 agility, you can actually home teleport to Yanille and use the Watchtower agility shortcut to train the rest of the way to level 25. While this agility shortcut is faster in terms of agility experience, it makes it more difficult to access the Big Chin D&D. Therefore, I do not recommend this route unless you absolutely hate the Gnome agility course. Once you have reached level 25 agility, we're going to head north from the agility course to the Grand Tree. At the Grand Tree, speak to the king on the ground floor to start the quest Grand Tree. He will give you some bark and ask you to take it to Hazelmere, but before we do so, we're going to go upstairs and go to the southwest area. Here, you'll find Funch Fine Groceries. Buy a chocolate dust and some dwellberries of him. If you do not have a spare bucket of milk in your bank, you can also buy one of him now. Once you have done your shopping, home teleport to Yanille and head east. From here, we will be completing the rest of Grand Tree. Head east out of Yanille will get you to Hazelmere. Hazelmere will give you a scroll to take back to the king. Speak to the king, then Glove, then President Charlie will result in you investigating Glove, who will then lock you up. Make your escape to arriving Kromja, where you will speak to the dock foreman to get more information on Glove. Your investigation will take you back to Grand Tree, where you will then need to kill a black demon to finish this quest. Like other bosses in previous quests, we can also save spot this one with magic. Completing this quest will give you some experience lamps and agility experience. I advise using your lamp on ranged, as this will be the lowest skill at the end of this guide. With the Grand Tree complete, we'll be home teleporting to Ardougne. At Ardougne, take out the dwellberries, rope, chocolate dust, snake grass, and bucket of milk we got before. Head west from the bank across the bridge and speak to Edmund in the northwestmost house in East Ardougne to start Plague City. This quest will take you to the West Ardougne, where you will need to find Eleanor to finish the quest. After Plague City is complete, you can immediately talk to Eleanor to start the next quest, Biohazard. Head through this quest until you reach the point where you get a bunch of plague samples from Eleanor. Once you have the plague samples, deposit them into your bank and take out the 3 dice you made at Seers Village, as well as the mining site map and ore bag. Do not teleport with your plague samples, as that will destroy them. Home teleport to Falador, then head northwest until you reach Doric, where we originally started the quest What's Mine is Yours. Talk to Doric and make the high quality bronze dagger and sword he asks for. He will then ask you to take the weapon to Axel at Artisan's Workshop. Before we head to Artisan's Workshop, we're going to head north from Doric until we reach Goblin Village. Head to the northmost house and speak to one of the generals to start Goblin Diplomacy. You will need to go around the village finding 3 sets of goblin mail, then dyeing them to eventually complete the quest. With the quest completed, home teleport back to Falador. From the Falador Lowstone, head northeast to the Dwarven Mine Outpost. At the outpost, we will find Gnome. Speak to him and he will give you an ammo mold, which we will need to progress the Dwarf Cannon quest. Head back to the Falador Lowstone, then head south into Falador. Our first destination in Falador is Falador's Castle. Speak to Squire Azrael, who originally gave you the Knight's Sword quest. Follow his instruction to go upstairs and steal a portrait of the sword. Once you have the portrait, head east from the castle to reach the Artisan's Workshop to speak to Axel about What's Mine is Yours. He will then finish the bronze sword and dagger in your inventory. We now need to head back to Falador's Castle. On the way back, you can drop into the bank and take out the 4 iron ores we mined before. We can then smith them into iron bars in the furnace that is also on the way to Falador's Castle. At Falador's Castle, take the finished sword and dagger to Cyril. You will get a cutscene and you will end up back at Doric's hut. You will need to sort out their family feud and then smith some items. Follow through with the rest of Doric's request and you will have finished What's Mine is Yours quest. From here, home teleport to Port Sarum, head northwest to bank at Clan Camp and take out those plague samples you banked at Ardougne. With the plague samples, head to Remington where you will find the chemist. Speak to the chemist, don't mention the samples, then give the correct vials to Chansey, Da Vinci and Hobbs. Again, as before, if you're not sure how to do this part of the quest, you can look up the Rs.wiki guide. Bank your samples again, then head south of Port Sarum to speak to Thurgle, the dwarf who we gave the red berry pie to in the previous part of the video. He will ask you to go inside the mine next to him and mine some blue-red ore. Do so, then take both the ore and the iron bar in your inventory back to Thurgle. You can mine an extra 2 blue-red ore for completing the Defender of Varrock and Falador achievement later in your gameplay. However, neither of these will be covered in this guide. With the ore and iron bar, Thurgle will make you the sword. Home teleport to Ardougne, bank everything, take out 6 air runes, 6 water runes, 6 earth runes, the Glariel's pebble, rope, and the cannonball ammo mold. Head north out of Ardougne to the Dwarven outpost, give the mold to Captain Lorgolf to finish the Dwarven Cannon quest. Head back south until you reach Glariel's tombstone, which is just northwest of the Fishing Guild. Drop your runes on the ground and use the Glariel's pebble on the tombstone to enter Glariel's tomb. Head straight west and search the chest to find Glariel's amulet. Drop the amulet, search the chest again to get a second one. Pick the amulet you dropped back off the ground, then go south. Search the tomb south to get Glariel's urn. Go back out of the tomb and pick up the runes you dropped off the floor. Head northwest back to where you started Waterfall quest. Go back down the raft, this time use the rope on the tree to get to the cave inside the waterfall. Get the key in the northeast room, then go northwest where you will put one of each air, water and earth rune on each of the 6 pillars. Then put the amulet on the statue and finally the urn in the chalice in the center of the room to finish the quest. Make sure to do the steps in that order or you'll be kicked out of the room before you finish the quest. Go to the bank, take out your Wicked Hood, your investigation notebook, and the blue right sword. Use the Wicked Hood to teleport yourself to the magic tower. Here we will complete both Rune Mysteries and Rune Memories. Since both quests are confined in this area, I won't be going through the details of each quest. After the completion of Rune Memories, we unlock Archmage Serador's rune chest. Go upstairs to where Archmage Serador is. East of him is a rune chest. We can search this chest to obtain 3 essences. You can also come back to this chest when you level up runecrafting to get even more essences. Before we leave the Wizard's Tower, head to the entrance and speak to Wizard Valina with the investigation notebook to progress the quest Missing Presumed Death. Home teleport to Falador and hand the blue right sword Thurgold Maid to the Squire at Falador's castle to complete Night Sword quest. We're then going to bank everything and head to Falador's Park where we will speak to Sir Tiffy to start and complete Recruitment Drive. After the completion of Recruitment Drive, home teleport to Varrock. Head north from the Lodestone into Varrock and enter the Blue Moon Inn just east of the entrance. Once in the Blue Moon Inn, speak to Dr. Hollow, then buy him a drink to get a steak and steak hammer. Take out the plague sample, touch paper, and the priest's gown top and bottom. Equip your priest's gown, go to the area southeast part of Varrock, cross the gates, go to the bar, and get your vials back from the 3 guys you hired back in Remington. Enter the building just south of the bar and give everything to Guidor. After speaking with him, go to the bank and take out some armor, food, staff, runes, and investigation notebook. Head to the church just north of the Varrock Museum to the northeast part of the city. Speak to Gideon to start Demon Slayer. Go down the trapdoor next to him to obtain the Silver Light, then head to the temple in the southeast part of Varrock to kill Delaris the demon. Once you have completed this quest, head northeast out of Varrock to where Brother Samuel was to continue Missing Presumed Death. Speak to Brother Samuel to continue the quest and you will eventually be teleported to the Citadel. Go through the Citadel to complete the quest and obtain an invitation box that you can use to teleport to the Citadel, then use it again to teleport you to Brother Samuel. From where you finish the quest, go east to the temple where we will continue the quest Priest in Peril. Knock on the temple door and you'll be asked to kill Cerebus. Go north from the temple and head down the ladder, kill the little doggy just by the ladder. Head back to King Road in Varrock, who will tell you that you screwed up. Go back to the temple and do the necessary steps to finish the rest of the Priest in Peril quest. Having the invitation box from Missing Presumed Death will make the traveling to the quest much quicker. For a step of the quest, you'll be required to give Drezel rune essences to purify the river. You can withdraw the essences from your Wicked Hood to save you multiple trips back and forth to him. Once you have done this quest, you will unlock access to Mauritania. From here, you can exit east of the mausoleum to enter Canifis, where you can unlock the Canifis Lodestone. With the Priest in Peril complete, we're going to head teleport to Draenor Village. Take out your stake and stake hammer and go north from Draenor to the Draenor Manor, where you will kill Count Draenor. Home teleport back to Draenor, speak to Morgan to complete Vampyre Slayer. Now home teleport to Ardougne and go west to Elena. Speak to her to complete Biohazard. Now from here, we have completed pretty much everything we want to achieve in this guide. We're just going to do some final steps to ensure you are set up for whatever you would like to do next. First, go to the Varrock Lodestone, go west from the Lodestone and speak to May by her caravan. She will give you dice for the amount of quest points you have. Rolling the dice she gives you will get you a large sum of cash. Then head to Berthop where you will find Gaia's two-hand shop. Buy up to the best two-handed weapon you can use. This will be your melee training weapon. Head to the dig site using the archaeology notebook and buy every tier of mattock. Head to Lumbridge where you will find Bob's axe shop. Buy every tier of pickaxe for mining training. For hatchets, you only need to buy the highest tier since if you add it to your tool belt, it will function as the best hatchet you can use. This brings us to the end of our beginner Ironman guide. As we introduced at the start of the guide, we're now in a position with cash, a lot of lodestone unlocked, and a whole bunch of levels from questing. From here, you can start working on whatever goal you like. You can look to do more quests, or you can start training your preferred skill. If you did like a follow-up guide on what goals might be good to pursue, please let me know in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this guide series. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future. Thank you for watching.